Hey guys, Aaron here again with Buddy back in his garage, continuing our 997 engine build. Today we are going to get the head assembled to the block. That is our goal. So we haven't pulled this guy out recently, so it's nice to finally get to work on it. So this is the bank one side. We do not have our chain guides installed yet. That one's just laying in there. So the first step in today's video is we're going to install these things. We have one new bolt because the person that worked on this engine over torqued one and snapped it off in the previous build. So this is what the little guy looks like. This is the new one with the O-ring. So we're gonna go ahead and lube up the O-ring and attach one of our first rails here. And it is 10 Newton meters.
Very little.
Not very tight.
Yep. All right, so let's just go ahead. We'll scan.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it.
It's been a while.
Feels good to get back into this engine. Within the next week, we're gonna finish this thing and have it in the car, right?
That's right. By the magic of YouTube editing, apparently, in some shape, way, or form.
Yeah, it'll be a couple months before that comes out, but I'm sure it'll be done by then.
Oh, that is interesting. The old ones were 6 millimeters. The new ones are not. All right. So this is an 8 millimeter, while the old ones that have not yet been vapor honed are 6 millimeters. Look at that. Interesting.
Change in parts.
Yeah, but it is the correct part number. We looked that up. All right. So on this chain guide, according to Aaron's research, the bolt must go through here, right? And it's going to support it there, and that's why it doesn't need to be too tense. We put, this is a new part with a new O-ring, and so that is going to bolt on right there. And the reason...
It threads into the block down there.
Yep. And all of these things hopefully have been torqued properly. So...
And because of our cool engine yoke, we have access to get into there. Through there, and start hand tightening it.
Yeah, and honestly, 10 Newton meters is technically just a hair over and tightened. You gotta get in the hole though. Is it in?
That's what she said. It's waiting for it.
I was just pitching these softballs, hoping somebody... All right, it's by hand. Again, 10 meters of the Newton variety. Oh, yeah, the gasket has to go in, so a little bit. Couldn't hand tighten it. Didn't have quite the grip. Once that seats. Should have better lighting here. Where's the producer?
The lighting equipment's down today.
So I couldn't hand tighten it. I should have probably hand tightened this with something with a little bit more grip. I'll do that on the next one. Again, the only reason for even tightening is so that there's going to be oil swishing in there and you don't want to leak. But this is not. Okay, here we go. Boom! Thank you!
All right, so that's all it takes to get this rail in.
Yep. And God knows how the other rail. This is to spec right now.
Yep, so we did notice that it made me a little worried that this doesn't just flop around, it takes some pressure to get it to move, whereas the other ones are super loose. But we checked the part number on this with the old one that we took out, exact same part number. We even measured it, exact same everything. And here's the part number right here, if you guys can see that. So yeah,
That was what it was.
Guess how it's supposed to be. All right, so I guess we'll put the other side in next. That's a good idea, I like that. Pre-lube. All right, so we're putting in rail number 2.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Same deal, big end up top. Bolt through here, also 10 Newton meters.
We should witness mark that too. Oh yeah, the reason why
That's a little tougher to get to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, behind the.
it is. Oh, the reason why we were confident on this side that those rails were right and done is we actually witness marked
Yes.
the torque. So
Yeah, we need to.
super important to do that, as we have done on this one. As you can see, let me point.
Yeah, we
The
did not.
witness mark is right there.
Yes.
I- I'm just pointing to it right there. I need room to get the.
Can we fit a torque wrench into this one? Probably not, huh?
Probably not. It's not a lot.
We'll have to do the half a ugga torque on this one.
Come back to if we note it, but again, 10 Newton meters. It's just a nice squeeze and tight.
Yep.
Once I get it in, maybe a little bit.
All right, now room for a torque wrench, Allen key. Yeah. Good.
I'm gonna put a question mark.
Come back and check me.
There you go. That's it, like the other plastic ones.
Yep, so that's what I expected.
Yeah, and again, all of them are plastic. Oh no, there's a metal one there too. Whatever, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Porsche design.
Okay, chain. I think that chain's gonna go down in there now.
Yeah, that's not a good idea though. What do we do?
I think it just goes in there while we fit the head on. It'll come out when we tip it up, I think.
You think so?
Let's check. Yeah, chain right there. All right, so these things that we were using as a temporary tool, we're gonna go ahead and remove them now.
Available for sale on the channel. These super important spacers.
Yep, all right, now we're just going to go ahead and clean the whole surface where the gasket is gonna be, once again, with some brake cleaner and our chem wipes.
You want to talk about where the dowels go?
Yes, so then there's gonna be 2 dowels that position the gasket and the head when it goes on. One of them is right here, where we just removed one of those bolts from, and directly on the opposite side right there. So the 2 with the little stepped things in there, the only 2 like that. This one, no step anywhere, so yeah, just those 2.
Are you sure it was there? Yeah. There and there?
Yep. And we just rubber mallet them.
That went in. A lot more than that went in. Okay.
All right, these are the gaskets that came from LN Engineering. It's kind of freaky. You can see they're attached there, and there's like 4 layers of gasket here.
Multi-layer steel.
Multi-layer, yes. And you do not want to clean these at all with any sort of chemical, because the sealant that is on them is part of the gasket, I guess. So we're just going to drop it on over our locating dowels like that. All right, so we just test fitted on. So we just all right, we just test fitted the gasket on there to make sure everything would line up correctly. You'll notice we took off this chain guide because we realized that there's a bolt that's gonna go here through this hole over here on the head, and that chain guide is gonna be in the way of that. So we will put this chain guide back on after we put the head on. So for our gasket, we have some of this copper spray gasket, and we are gonna coat this portion of the gasket because there are only a few bolts holding it on, and there's big long areas where it's been prone to leak. So it has been recommended to add a little bit of extra copper gasket on here to help with that scenario. And we're just using this Permatex stuff, and we're just
Link provided below.
Yes, link in the description. So we will be using just the material that it came in to kind of block it off as our spray guide. And yeah, go ahead. So you just need to be ready for this next step. Have these 4 micro encapsulated bolts. There's the 4th one, and that's what's going to hold this on. So go ahead and spray. Good test sprays. Just a nice little light coat there. We're just helping the gasket a little bit with a better seal. All right, that's beautiful.
A little bit more?
Yeah, I think that's good. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I guess it's a super light. It's a light little mist. Yeah, beautiful. I like it.
Nothing too complicated.
Yep.
And then clean the nozzle. You always want to clean your nozzles.
I hate having an uncleaned nozzle.
No, it's all choked up. Now, I didn't plan this ahead.
You made it too secure.
Right. And we use that for the other one.
Just put it back over there. Locating dowels. Everybody is happy.
Everybody is happy.
And then go ahead and take our head.
And quick note. This is
Bank
for
one.
Bank one.
1 through 3. Make sure you're putting the right one on.
This is all cleaned up. So in a super clean environment. Does that gasket look good on that side, Aaron?
It does. Here, I'll hold it down and get my finger pinched. So yeah, just use the locating dowels. It should seat perfectly. So now we're gonna use the 4 micro encapsulated bolts. 1, 2, 3, and then that 4th one back in there. So we wanna go ahead and get a little bit of torque on these now. So while our gasket has not been fully cured.
Here, you do that.
And this is a E10, did I guess right?
Don't know. Don't remember, honestly. What's the point one not this flip is this one? Oh, should have gotten the hose.
And so, yeah, when you go to do this one, if you drop that bolt in there, you're kind of screwed. So you can either flip the engine over and do it from the bottom, which is what I would recommend. But what we're gonna do is take a piece of
Hosey hose.
so that it can't drop out until we get it started in there.
Torque the hose
And,
back.
oh, this is an E8, I guess. Or wait, is that even an E-Torx?
I don't think it's any torques.
Oh, I think you just used an 8mm. All right, you should be using an E10. Also, an 8mm is the same fit.
And the torque site for that is, drum roll please,
13 Newton meters is my guess.
13 Newton meters.
13 Newton meters, yes. All right. So we're going to torque all four of those to 13 Newton meters and witness. And we're going to torque them down to 13 Newton meters.
I'm just getting them snug to like the 6 Newton meters to get a nice even application.
Extra two-step torquing, I like it.
Yeah, probably unnecessary, but.
You should use new bolts, just like we did.
Not so critical in this part of the application, but.
Yeah, if you have to reuse the ones like we are, just a spot of blue Loctite on the bottom of the threads, and they're just like new. Ooh, it's my favorite part.
I wonder if we'll have to retorque them again once we get this other piece in.
Guess our bolts will pull it in.
That doesn't seem right.
Does seem pretty gappy on that side.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's how it's supposed to be. All right, these are our new head bolts. They are T55. Make sure you get new ones of these. And instead of putting them in dry, we're gonna put a little bit of lube under the head and a little bit of lube on the bottom threads per recommendations. So some there, some under here, and then we're just gonna come over here, drop them all into our slots. So we're gonna do all of them. All right, I got them all lubed and placed inside here, and I just hand tightened them all. Now we're gonna go through the torquing procedure. So we have several different color pens over there to mark the different stages that we're gonna do. So the way that we're gonna torque them, the order is you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that. Starting on the inside, crisscross, working your way out. So I'm gonna start with this guy as number 1. Here are the 3 stages of our torquing. We're gonna start with 30 Newton meters, and then we're going to loosen it. And for stage 2, we're gonna go to 20 Newton meters. And for stages 3 and 4, we're gonna do 70 degrees. All right, so I'm going to start with 30 Newton meters, take this guy to 30. All right, that is 30 Newton millimeters. All right, after 30 Newton meters, just have a little bit of gap here. So just a quick witness mark on that guy. All right, now I'm just going to head diagonal and do number 2. And we will give him a witness mark. Now continue along our pattern. All right, after all 12 are past stage 1, you can just give it a minute to acclimate in its position. And now you can see Of course, that gap is gone. Next, we're going to break the torque in the exact same order. So this was our number 1. So we're going to get the ratchet back in here, and we're just going to loosen it to break the torque, and then we're going to use a different colored pen, and I'm going to go ahead and 180 degrees opposite of where I marked that torque. I'm just going to mark that it has been loosened. So come in here to this guy, and it is actually really easy to break torque on them. And mark him. So I'm just going to continue to all the rest of them. All right, all 12 broken loose, and our gap is still closed. Stage 2 for this engine is 20 Newton meters. So we're going to start back up at bolt number 1 and use the exact same order again, this time just going to 20 Newton meters. All right, so you can see that it is a little bit further, even though it is less torque this time. So I'm going to go ahead and re-witness mark. So I'm just going to go yellow again. So they're going to have 2 marks. All right, so the second one was actually right about the same place. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one at 3 o'clock instead to make it easier to tell. So however you decided to mark them, all 12 should have 3 dots on them now. All right, stage 3, we have 70 degrees for our application. So we're going to start here on number 1 and go 70 degrees. And then we will have our third color ready to mark it after it's gone 70 degrees. Beautiful. So I'll go ahead and mark that at 12 o'clock, and then number 2 down here. So just repeat this process for stage 3. So all 12 should now have a red mark on them, and then we're going to do stage 4, starting at number 1 again, do another 70 degrees. So now you're going to have to start to put your back into it. This is the final stage where it does the stretch to yield.
Man, that did not seem
too
very...
bad?
No.
All right, good. Put another red line on there.
Come on.
All right, continue. All right, everybody should have all kinds of colorful marks, and we're completed with this step. All right, so now that we have these all torqued down, we're gonna come back and re-torque these just to make sure that they are still good. So I guess we should have left the witness marks off until the very end, but we're just gonna make sure that they are,
double witness.
make sure that all 4 of them are still at 13 Newton meters.
I bet these are going to be actually a little bit tighter. You know? They're relaxed. Holy cow. 13 Newton meters, right?
Yep. Yep, so they do need to be snugged up some after those main head bolts really pull this thing down, at least the middle one. The other 4 seem pretty good. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and reinstall the chain rail that we removed as well right now. All right. right, bank 2 knocked out. All of those are tightened. We got these torqued down and marked, and that's the easy one to get to right there. So that is it. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you on the next video where we will start putting in some internals and do some cam timing, the fun stuff. See you guys.